No boring introductions. History speaks for itself. 1. Anita Ekberg shoots at the paparazzi. Rome, 1960. Our film opens with a Hollywood starlet doing something unthinkable today. In October 1960, Swedish actress Anita Ekberg was training for a role when paparazzi pushed too far outside her villa in Rome. According to photographer Felice Quinto, Ekberg demanded the film from their cameras, then disappeared inside. She re-emerged with a bow and arrow, firing at the offending photographers and hitting Quinto in the arm. Her daring act captured one of the most outrageous celebrity moments of the era, and a rare snapshot of a star literally shooting back at the tabloids. 2. In 1919, a pilot decided that a monument was not a barrier, but a challenge. Charles Godefroy flew his aircraft straight through the Arc de Triomphe, threading a stone opening just 29.42 meters high and 14.62 meters wide. His plane's wingspan measured 9 meters. One miscalculation would have meant disaster. Paris watched as aviation flirted with arrogance and survived. 3. A woman stands in the catacombs of Paris, candle in hand, smiling. Around her, thousands of skulls are stacked neatly, silently. The image is unsettling not because of death, but because of comfort. In 1935, even places built from bones could become tourist attractions. 4. This photograph captures a quiet moment after unimaginable loss. A blind World War I veteran sits beside his bride on their wedding day. The war has taken his sight, but not his future. Love here is not blind. It is resilient. 5. Robert Kennedy and West Berlin Mayor Willy Brandt stand on the same side, looking through the Berlin Wall. The boundary is visible, intact, and unmoved, a division that allows sight but denies passage. 6. Marcia Pinkenfield is 6 months old when she wins a national beauty competition. Cameras capture her unaware, untouched by the expectations being placed upon her. In 1927, even infancy could be judged, ranked, and crowned. 7. Italian traveler Attilio Gatti poses with 2 hired pygmies and a captured gorilla. The image reflects the era's obsession with exploration and its blindness to exploitation. Adventure and domination often shared the same frame. 8. Billy the elephant had grown old. Zoo officials feared he might become uncontrollable. Their solution was final. The photograph documents the moment after he was shot, a sobering reminder that captivity ends on human terms. 9. Ivan Unger of the Flying Black Gnats and Gladys Roy play tennis on the wings of an airplane while it is in flight. No safety harnesses. No margin for error. The image captures a time when spectacle outweighed caution, and thrill was part of the job description. 10. Adolf Hitler appears in traditional lederhosen, the national trousers of Tyroleans and Bavarians. The year is 1927. The image is carefully informal, an attempt at folk familiarity before power hardened into uniform. 11. British military equipment is disguised as elephants in India during World War II. Canvas, paint, and imagination turn weapons into wildlife. Deception becomes camouflage, and war learns to imitate nature. 12. French soldiers gather for a banquet in Paris, 1925. Their faces bear the permanent cost of World War I. The setting is formal, almost celebratory. The injuries are not. 13. American singer Al Jolson poses in character on the set of Bar of Wonders, 1934. The performance reflects the era's entertainment norms rather than its ethics. What was once applause now reads as evidence. 14. Nikola Tesla sits alone in his Colorado Springs laboratory, surrounded by coils and machinery. It is 1899. Electricity arcs around him as if alive. The scene feels less like an experiment than a private conversation with the future. 15. In Midtown New York, startled pedestrians watch as Miss Beth Pitt walks her pet fawn. Star message. The date is November 16, 1942. Earlier that day, she paid a small fine for letting the animal roam free in Central Park. The city pauses, briefly unsure of its own rules. 16. Alfred Hitchcock stands face-to-face with Leo the lion in 1957. One represents constructed fear, the other instinctive power. The lion is restrained. Hitchcock is not. 17. Civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. faced violent hostility far north of the Jim Crow South. During a fair housing march in Chicago's Marquette Park on August 5, 1966, a mob of about 700 white protesters threw bricks and rocks at King and his followers. One rock struck King and knocked him to one knee. He later said he had never encountered mobs as hostile as those in Chicago. The shocking photo of King under attack highlighted the entrenched racism in northern cities. 18. November 11, 1989, 2 days after the Berlin Wall opened, residents descended on the hated barrier with whatever tools they could find. In a dramatic photograph, a demonstrator is shown pounding away at the wall with a hammer as East German border guards watch from above. The bricks falling under his blows symbolized the collapse of the Cold War. The wall that had divided families for 28 years crumbled in front of television cameras and cheering crowds. 19. To teach recruits how automatic weapons worked, the U.S. military built enormous, non-firing models that could be disassembled like puzzles. In October 1956, Marines at Camp Pendleton posed with 3 giant M23s and 1 M24. The colossal rifles look almost comical, but they help soldiers understand weapon mechanics. 20. 2 years before Hitler seized power, a Jewish family in Kiel staged a silent act of defiance. Rosie Posner snapped a photograph of her brass Hanukkah menorah gleaming in their apartment window, while a swastika flag hung from the newly opened Nazi headquarters across the street. She took the photo in December 1931, wanting to show that they weren't afraid. After the family fled Germany in 1933, the photograph survived. Today, it stands as an iconic image of Jewish resilience. 21. Fast forward to apartheid-era South Africa. On the 2nd of September 1989, anti-apartheid demonstrators marched to Parliament. Police blocked the march and unleashed a water cannon filled with purple dye to mark protesters for later arrest. Activist Philip Ivey climbed onto the armored vehicle and redirected the spray onto police and the nearby National Party headquarters. The dye soaked officials, walls, and billboards. Graffiti soon appeared proclaiming, "The purple shall govern." The incident, remembered as the Purple Rain, marked one of the last banned protests under apartheid and captured the bravery of ordinary citizens. 22. Wheatfield. A confrontation begins. New York, 1982. In 1982, conceptual artist Agnes Denez turned 2 acres of Manhattan landfill into an unlikely farm. Over 5 months, she dug 285 furrows by hand, removed rocks, irrigated, and fertilized the soil. The project, titled Wheatfield, A Confrontation, was conceived as a paradox. A field of wheat valued at perhaps $1,000, planted on land worth $4.5 billion. Denez saw it as a symbol of food, energy, world trade, and forgotten values. 23. Children wearing gas masks at school. London, 1939. As World War II loomed, Britain prepared for the unthinkable. A haunting photograph shows school children sitting at their desks, calmly wearing oversized gas masks. Their legs barely reach the floor. Their faces are completely hidden. This was not a drill. Every child had been issued a mask, just in case chemical weapons were used. For them, fear wasn't loud. It was routine. 24. During the Hungarian Revolution of 1956, photographs circulated of young rebels preparing Molotov cocktails to fight Soviet tanks. One image is identified simply as a rebel holding a Molotov cocktail, waiting for action. The makeshift weapons and grim determination of ordinary citizens captured the courage of a people briefly tasting freedom before the uprising was crushed. 25. 50 years after the Battle of Gettysburg, veterans of the Union and Confederacy returned to the battlefield for a reunion. A photograph shows old soldiers in blue and gray uniforms shaking hands across a stone wall. The 1913 reunion drew tens of thousands of veterans and became a symbolic gesture of reconciliation between North and South. A poignant moment captured forever in black and white. 26. Oilfields in flames. Kuwait, 1991. After coalition forces expelled Iraq from Kuwait in February 1991, retreating Iraqi soldiers set more than 600 oil wells on fire. The burning wells produced thick black smoke that hindered coalition aircraft and created a hellish landscape. The fires burned for months, despite heroic firefighting efforts. Photographs of silhouetted firefighters against towering flames remain among the most haunting images of the Gulf War. 27. On July 14, 1965, NASA's Mariner 4 spacecraft transmitted the first close-up image of Mars. The historic frame showed a view about 205 miles by 746 miles, revealing the boundary between Elysium Planitia and Arcadia Planitia. A hazy area may indicate clouds. The photograph ended speculation that canals traversed the Martian surface and ushered in a new era of planetary exploration. 28. In 1906, the New York Zoological Park, now the Bronx Zoo, placed Oda Benga, a young Congolese man, on display in the primate house. A photograph shows him holding a chimpanzee. He was exhibited alongside the animals for several weeks. The exhibit provoked public outcry and is now regarded as a racist humiliation. Benga had been purchased by missionary Samuel Werner and brought to the United States, highlighting the exploitative attitudes of the era. 29. In the Welsh town of Conwy sits a bright red cottage dubbed the smallest house in Great Britain. It is just 72 inches wide and 122 inches high, and was occupied until May 1900. The last resident, fisherman Robert Jones, stood 6 feet 3 inches tall and had to sleep with his legs hanging out the window. The tiny home contains a single bed, a fireplace, and a coal bunker, demonstrating how little space people once needed. 30. Before the Civil War, the United States decided to replace its wooden Capitol dome with a cast-iron masterpiece. By 1857, nearly all the columns of the new dome's peristyle were set on brackets embedded in masonry. Work progressed rapidly until design revisions and political conflicts slowed construction in 1858. Images of the partially completed dome, ringed by scaffolding, reveal the colossal effort that transformed the U.S. Capitol's silhouette. 31. In the 1950s, Las Vegas marketed nuclear tests as tourist attractions. One photograph shows hotel guests lounging beside a swimming pool, cocktails in hand, while a mushroom cloud rises in the distance. The explosion is framed like scenery, something to watch, not fear. A chilling reminder of a time when humanity believed it had mastered forces it barely understood. 32. One photograph shows a metal cage suspended outside a second-story apartment window. Inside it, a baby. The device was marketed to urban parents as a way to give infants fresh air in crowded cities. It was considered modern, healthy, and responsible. Today, the image feels almost unreal, a solution to a problem that created a new one. These moments, my friends, weren't staged. They were witnessed. Until next time.